more screen time equals less lifetime. Check your screen time right now. Pause the video, check your screen time, reflect on it deeply, and come back to this video. If your screen time is over 12 hours a day, and I know there's many of you people out there who has an excessive amount of time spent in front of a screen, then if you were to think about it, you are technically spending more time in front of a screen than living your life. How obscure does that sound? How sad. You're spending 13 hours in front of a screen and 11 hours actually doing something with your life. Unless it's not more instant gratification. That's for every single day. And that's not even taking into account sleep. You don't really live when you, well, you do live when you sleep, but you're not experiencing anything. You are resting, but you're not doing things. How can you be spending more time in front of a screen than living your life? How messed up does that sound? And even if you don't have a screen time of 12 or more hours, even if you have a screen time of 3 hours a day, you could be living your life in that time. You could be working towards your goals. You could be working towards getting better grades. You could be even socializing with your family. You could have even gone on a walk in nature, experienced the beauty of nature, relaxed your mind. And I'm specifically talking about instant gratification. Instant gratification on the screen. Mindless scrolling. One of the worst addictions you can have. One, because it is a waste of time. Two, because it drains you of your focus. If every single app on social media these days has some sort of reel, short, TikTok's based page where you've got a post and you scroll, post, scroll, and it gets to the point where it's so automatic, so comfortable, where these apps are doing the scrolling for you. I'm really ashamed to actually know this because I should have quit social media a while ago. But modern addictions still have some sort of control over me. But of course, I am working to get my way out of that. But how can you let the app scroll for you? How comfortable is that? And you don't even let it scroll once. You let it scroll twice, 3 times, 5 times, 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times. 5 hours gone. 5 hours gone where you could have lived your life. And why do I say this? More screen time equals less lifetime. Because we all know very, very well that if you're mindlessly scrolling, I like to call it, you're scrolling to look at attractive goals, to look at, I don't know, their body parts. You're scrolling to look at gym bodybuilders that have your dream body. You're looking at cool cars. You're looking at things to just give you dopamine. When you're doing this, you are not living. You have the least amount of presence that you can possibly have. This is because once you open that phone and you're looking at the screen, all you're looking at and all you notice are things on the screen. If I was to look at my screen right now, I would not be able to see the background, my room. But of course it's in the background, but I'm not noticing it. That is very, very little presence. You are losing your senses. You're losing your touch with the real world. And that is exactly what is a lack of presence. Presence is living in the moment. And presence is built up of all of your senses. If you're looking at a screen, your vision, your sight has been massively reduced to this one little rectangle. And furthermore, when you're looking at this, most of the time you're not actually taking in any information. You're just doing it for dopamine. If you were sitting down and you had to do some work and you pulled up your phone and you wanted to mindlessly scroll, the only reason why you pull your phone out and go on social media to mindlessly scroll is for dopamine. You don't want to do the hard work. You feel lazy. But that's pathetic. We cannot have this mindset. And you get absolutely nothing from mindlessly scrolling. You might say, oh yeah, I get dopamine, but when we're in self-improvement, does dopamine mean you're getting better? No. We know you are improving if you're delaying gratification. Therefore, getting dopamine always is not very, very good. And getting dopamine from a screen, from pixels, from other people is the worst type of dopamine to get, because you're not actually working towards improving yourself, to actually becoming that character, that person with the dream body, that person who can do these awesome calisthenic skills. You're just imagining yourself to be this person. It's literally mental masturbation. It is the worst thing you can do to yourself. And I haven't even talked about how it destroys your attention span. Think about, what is the average attention span these days? If you were to go on Google, it's probably like 8 seconds. 8 seconds. 8. Our attention span has been absolutely ruined by all these addictions, by the phone, by all of this comfort. And all of this comfort, what it does, it literally robs our time. We literally live less. We may think, oh yeah, quality of life is better. We live longer lives. Quality of life is not better. We're living longer lives because we're more comfortable. We're not out doing dangerous things that stimulate adrenaline that cause us to grow. Because dangerous things cause us to grow. Discomfort leads to growth. We're all sitting inside in front of screens. Oh yeah, your quality of life is better. You feel happy. Oh yeah, I feel happy. Yeah. No, you don't. Deep down, you don't feel happy. But if you really want to get rid of this addiction, this phone addiction, you want to actually start living your life. You want to actually stop consuming the technology around us, and you want to literally live your life, because when you're using technology, you are not living your life. We've already established that. If you want to transition to living more of your life, you need to understand that the only reason why you use these technologies is because you're somewhat brainwashed. You believe there's value in this screen, but in reality, there is zero value. You get nothing from this screen. So why use it? You have a number of goals in your head that you would like to achieve, and that sitting on the screen will not help you achieve them. In fact, sitting on the screen will actually move you away from the goals. So what can you actually be doing instead of sitting on the screen? Because I have this vision, I have this goal to be able to live my life soon with zero mindless scrolling. I still mindlessly scroll here and then, whether it's sometimes even on gallery photos, because of what technology has done to me. But we cannot let technology do this to us. I am aiming for zero mindless scrolling, and in fact, also zero instant gratification. Because in reality, instant gratification does not do anything for us. It doesn't do anything good for us. Therefore, I have this goal of reaching zero, none of it. And I want to share this with you. I want you to aim for this goal too, because I'm sure it will transform your life. You will be more proud with yourself. And before I start waffling, I need to cover what you can do instead of living less. Well, how can you live more? Be in touch with your senses. Meditate. It is literally what enhances your senses, your mind, your sharpness in thinking, in focusing. It's absolutely wonderful. I was meditating this morning outside, a bit of a change while it was raining, focusing on the sound, the pitter-patter, and wow, how amazing I felt. I just felt so invigorated, refreshed. Go exercise, read a book, anything to improve yourself. Study, socialize, build your confidence. There's so many things you can be doing. Do some push-ups. Do anything to not mindlessly scroll, to not indulge in instant gratification. If you think, oh, I'm doing okay, I only spend about 1 hour on my phone on YouTube. But then you've got about 5 more hours on, I don't know, Snapchat, other forms of social media, texting people. You don't need to be doing that. I don't text anyone. I only text people to let them know I'm meeting you here at this time. That's it. That is literally, that's 95% of my messages. There is no point in texting people. Of course, if you hear some news where they may need some support or some congratulating, you can send them a quick message. But that's it. You don't need to FaceTime them. You don't need to have a full-blown conversation for 30 minutes about some rubbish when you could be reading about nutrition. You could be exercising. You could be doing much better things. You could be living your life. You could be adventuring in nature, exploring wherever you are. Let's do a bit of visualizing. Imagine, so you're currently probably spending a few hours on your phone every single day, whether it be productive or not productive. Imagine yourself when you're 60, 70, 80. You don't have a few more years to live. You look back on what you've done in your life and you think, crap, I haven't done a lot. I've been spending about 4 to 12 hours a day in front of a screen. Imagine this, you're 60, you're probably much less mobile, not as fit, and you're thinking to yourself, I've just wasted half of my life in front of a screen. You're thinking to yourself, that is a waste. Because you weren't doing anything in front of the screen. How sad would you feel knowing you're 70, you've got only a few more years to live, and you wasted half of your life in front of a screen because you gave in to the modern addictions, because you were comfortable? Don't let this be you. If you know someone who's on their phone 12 hours a day, don't let that be you. Even if it's not you, and you're spending 2 hours a day, how can you reduce that even more? How can you reduce screen time to 0? I know it's very, very difficult, especially if you're in school. You might be doing schoolwork, you might have work online. But at the end of the day, the screen just limits the amount of time we live for, and it limits the quality of our life. And it's really, really bad. It's really not good. We know how bad it is. You don't want to waste your life. You don't want to waste any more hours in front of the screen when you can be living. It's funny, it's actually quite crazy I'm talking about this. I'm literally telling you to live. You're alive, but you're not living because our presence has gone to a point where it's an all-time low. Reconsider if you're doing the right things. If you're just wasting your time. Reconsider if you could be living your life. Because I'm sure everybody, when we all get old, if we do get old, we're going to be thinking about how our lives were. And we don't want to be miserable thinking, flip, 12 hours a day on my phone. And I was laughing about it with my friends when I was in year 11, year 12. When I was 17, I thought it was a joke. It wasn't a joke. Accept, adapt, and overcome.